Okay, can you hear me now? This is interesting. I might have to come back. I might have to go out and come back in again. Let me see if I can try. It seems to be streaming okay. Can you hear me and see me in the Facebook group? Okay. Don't know. Don't know what's happening. Yay! I think that's it. I think that's it. Okay, fantastic. Let me know. You must have the wrong channel. If you can see it, got it. Okay, fantastic. You can see me. I had to come in on a different device. Oddness. All right, my babies. Let me just shut down a few more things because I was testing it. I hope you're all doing well. So who's ready to start creating like their best year so far? Who is ready? Because that's what we're going to do today. You know, one of the things that I always say is that your morning routine starts the night before. And it's the same with a fantastic year. You know, it doesn't just start on New Year's flipping day. And, you know, all the studies show that New Year's, I call them revolutions. New Year's resolutions actually don't work. And I don't know, I'm sure I have been a fan in the past of New Year's resolutions, but for sure not for a longer time. It's actually a great time to do the completion exercise, which I also call the death rebirth exercise, you know. But what we're going to do today, I wanted to run through. It's the normal weekly lenses session, but with an extra dollar, you know, because happy full moon to you, because we have got a full moon today, and I'm feeling it like so powerful. Yesterday I had at least two, maybe more, like huge ahas and like real breakthroughs. And I wasn't even trying to focus on that. Like I wasn't doing any processes, or it was quite a normal day, but they just came. And then on Friday in our lenses slot, I'm actually going to go back to basics, and I've wanted to do this for quite a while. And give all the history, give the background, the explanation to the Respark, to being a powerful creator, you know, reminding ourselves that we don't need fixing. All of the elements really to this work. That's what I'm going to be doing on Friday. You know, because what's really interesting is that when I was introduced to this work initially, nearly 15-ish, I always say 15 to 20 years ago, I should check, but a long time ago anyway. And I was a little bit like the rebel in the class. And one of the reasons is because the teacher kept on slagging. I mean, unfortunately, I've only actually ever learned this work from guys, which is why, you know, I love sharing it with the world. And I also want to coach. I want to train up coaches, particularly women, to take this to the world and then to show them how to teach it. But we used to go head to head, me and this teacher, because he would always slag off other modalities. And even, I remember once I was about to speak on stage to over 100 people, and I'd also got him the gig to speak as well. And he talked to me and talked about me in not a very positive way. And he used me as an example of someone who was in their spiritual ego before I came up on stage to talk. And I actually, because I tuned into my intuition and I knew he was going to do this, so I was kind of prepared. And I opened my speech with, I stand on the shoulders of giants. So I wasn't talking about him. But anyway, the reason we used to go loggerheads, you know, we used to battle, was because of him slagging off all of these other modalities. And then I realized that actually he's just a really bad teacher, because it's not that other modalities are bad or wrong or whatever. But when we're in a structure of wanting to fix ourselves, then for a start, we're not focused on creating. Our focus is on what's wrong with this, with us. So therefore, even when we, in inverted commas, solve whatever we wanted to work on, what's going to happen? If you're in that structure, something else is going to pop up that also needs solving. You know, so as a creator, and you'll know this if you've read The Path of Least Resistance, and I also wanted do a shout out and remind you all that you've got a reading list. So I hope you're working through it. My little teachery poke. But you know, when you're a creator, you're not a problem solver. So, and we can use all of those other modalities. You know, and that's one of the things I teach my coaches to do towards the end of the training is using in stage 4, because you've got the 5 steps to create a life you adore. I've now honed it down to the 5 steps, and I'll be going through that on Friday. But in step 4, when you're doing the the Respark, you can also use other modalities there, but your focus is always on creating what you love. So yeah, so very, very interesting that, you know, I was this rebel that would go, you know, you can't slag off all of these other things. There's some amazing things out there, but they've got to be in the right structure. They've got to be in the right structure. It's like the structure of the river is the riverbed. So it's going from the mountain to the sea. And your structure, if you're in a structure fixing yourself and you're not complete, you know, and you don't love your life now, that's a structure. So when you move into a structure of, well, this is what I want to create, then do you see the difference there? Do you even feel the freeingness of it? So I wanted to revisit this on Friday, and you can invite all your friends and your contacts and everyone. And I also wanted to really look at, you know, what would you love? Where would you love to be? What would you love to have be? What would you love to have be? What would you love to have created this time next year? So I'm going to give you a moment to dwell on that. What would you love to have created this time next year? Imagine there's no limits, because really there aren't. You know, we're the only ones standing in our own way. And this is something I'm going to be offering, actually. So first of all, I want to apologize to those of you that aren't able to make the retreat. I actually didn't choose anyone in the end because so many people were interested. What I have decided to do is to actually create an online virtual retreat. And I've done these before where people have actually taken themselves off to a hotel or an Airbnb. And we meet for a couple of hours every day for 3 days. And they map out. And then we do chocolate ceremonies, and we respark any resistance to literally what they want to create in every single month. And they get super clear on their end result, where they want to be in a year's time. So we'll be sending out an email about that. But if you're interested in having that virtual, magical, online VIP retreat, then let me know, because obviously my time is limited and it's quite time intensive. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not in Mexico. You can do it from the comfort of your own home, or as I said, you can take yourself off to a fancy hotel or an Airbnb or something. That works really well. I've done a lot of this in the past. That works really well when, you know, you remove yourself. And and actually put yourself in the reality that you want to create. Do you want to, actually, I must cancel, anyway, I'm just thinking about hotels and things. Do you want to create the freedom to stay in 4-star, 5-star hotels? What would you love? So write it all down. Where do you want to be? What do you want to have created this time next year? Feel free to share. I love it. And so please, type in whatever comes to mind, and answer this question for me. And what I was going to say is that I'm not going to mention any names. So whatever you want to share, whatever you want to create, I will keep it confidential. And then, how do you answer this question? The dream, like the thing I love, but I know I can't create or I can't have, is this. How do you answer that question? How do you answer that question? Excuse me, laughing around here. How do you answer that question? So the thing I want to create, but I just know I can't, is this. Yeah, and you know what? Don't limit it though. Why limit it to 10 grand a month or 100 grand a month? How about the things that I always say are, overflowing money, more money than I can spend. And if it helps your brain to have a particular amount, that's fine. But then also ask yourself, well, why that amount? Why not double it or half it or treble it? Just notice if you're still automatically limiting yourself. I'm drinking some ceremonial cacao here, which is so adorable. So adorable. Yeah. Brilliant. I love it. I love the dreams with no limits. And what might pop are some new choices, some new things that you've got clarity that you'd love to create. So you might want to just take a moment and choose to step into innocence. Choose to be like a child. No beliefs. Just viewing the world from the perspective of innocence. And then imagine that it's the 7th of December, 2023. And you look at where you are and you look at what's happened that year, and like you can hardly believe it. One thing I noticed when some of my amazing dreams manifested, that I'd have to kind of pinch myself, like, is this really happening? So just take a moment to, to notice, and to notice maybe some of those tough spots or some of that resistance that you had to hold. You had a dream. You might have been in a shitty place in relation to it, but you hung with that tension. Look how it resolved. Look how it resolved. And all you did was you hung with the tension. You were clear on what you'd love. You were clear on where you were at in your current reality. And you just kept taking those steps. Sometimes it was taking big action. Sometimes it was just surrendering. You held that vision. So what have you created? What are you celebrating now? What are you noticing? Yeah. Yeah, it's very powerful. That's why we do it. So with that energy still in your heart, in your belly, maybe in your third eye, in your mind, I want you to take a journey with me. I'll share my screen through each of our orientational choices. Choose the end result of a life I adore. Nice. What are you noticing here? Choose to actually, first of all, getting the emotion of that end result, and then just get into the experience of it. You're living it. You have a life you adore. What lets you know that that end result is true, that it's happening? What lets you know? What's different? And you can also play with this. You can look at the present moment now, a life I adore now, and then imagine a year's time. Have you become, have you got new habits? Maybe you have a new home. Maybe you're in a different country. Maybe your gorgeous man is there. He's sitting on his knee. Or woman, if you or if you're not that, excuse me, if you're not that way inclined. Is your dog there? How's your incredible business doing that's serving the world? How much fun is it? What else have you learned? How else have you grown? So now, taking a moment and just choosing to float into being the predominant creative force in your life. Just notice. You are focusing on and creating all that you love. So get into the emotion of that. How does that feel? What emotions are you feeling as you are the predominant creative force in your life? What lets you know that that's true? Again, what's different in your life? What maybe new habits, disciplines, patterns? What have you let go of? Just notice. Who are you? You're the same. Same, but different. Choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. Nice. Now let's float into vibrant health, buzzing. I choose the end result of being vibrantly healthy. So just getting into the emotion of that end result. Just see yourself really living that, experiencing that. Maybe notice in a year's time. Notice that choice. I choose the end result of being vibrantly healthy. Maybe you're more in love with yourself. Maybe there's a higher level of or a higher degree of self-love. Just notice yourself really experiencing that. How does your body feel? What's different about your life, what you're doing? What lets you know that this result is true? That you are vibrantly healthy. Beautiful. Nice. All right. And now flowing even into I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. And it feels like, how does that feel? How does that feel? What's happening in your life? Maybe you're doing work or hobbies that are totally different to what you're doing now in a year's time. Choose the end results of living my true nature and purpose. And look at the ripple effect. You know, like you've chosen to be of service. You've made that your priority. And what that does is it actually gets rid of all the doubts and the fears and the shadow because you're putting service as a priority. I always remember this, years ago when if ever I was ill or if ever I had doubts about taking the next step in my business or with my clients, I was like, well, who is this serving if I'm going to stay afraid or stay small? It's not serving my clients, and that's what I'm here for, serving people. So I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. You've got magic. You've got magic to share. So who are you? What's happening in your life when you're totally, fully in your power? Following through, loving yourself, loving what arises. All right. Well done, everyone. Well done. So now what we're going to do is you're going to step into your true choices as if it is a year from now. Okay? So take each choice and step into it. So, for instance, I choose the end result of my magical, sparkly, beautiful home. So this is an example. So I would step into that and I would notice, am I in that home? What were the steps that I took to create it? What was the journey like? There was some difficulties. Buying a house is never easy. Well, I shouldn't create that reality really, but it can be stressful. But maybe I chose for it not to be stressful. Maybe I chose to trust, and maybe I want to walk around in that house and look at the garden and, maybe even notice some of the things that I wished I'd done differently on the journey to creating that choice. So let this be both a full sensory experience and a fully embodied higher self, soul, spirit, human 3D version of you experience where you've created it. You've created it and you've got the whole story with all of the learnings. Because remember, there's no such thing as time. Time is an illusion. It's something we've created. So everything doesn't just always happen at once, as Einstein said. But excuse me. You can see the whole journey unfold. And you might want to do this. This is one of the things, just a segment of one of the things that I do on the VIP virtual annual retreats, is that this is just one element of going into this. So you might not have time in this session to go through all of your choices, but you can do it afterwards. But just go into them one by one. You might want to choose your business. Oh, wow, look, I'm overflowing with money. I've got a waiting list of clients, however you'd love it to be. And then notice the whole journey. Notice the incredible steps that you took. And then maybe notice the resistance and what you did, what steps you took when the resistance wasn't there. So then you can actually, it's almost like that blows away any resistance that might have been there anyway. Like, oh, it's not that. I can see that for what it is. It's actually nothing. Like when I take you through the soul alignment process and you see that the stories we make up are actually, they're nothing. They don't even exist. They're not real. We make them up. So let's make up something different. Going back to my example of buying the house. What if this was a joyous, flowing, easy, incredible experience? And what if that was just one of the properties? I might decide to rent that out or live in that. Make it up. Because we're always fucking making shit up anyway. Excuse my French. So make up what you love. This is not what we're taught to do. Like, look at the news. Like, OMG. Oh, I don't know what's happening in the news because I have never paid attention to it for years. Maybe a dip in once or twice over the last year or something. But, what can you make up? Like, make good shit up. So I'll give you another few minutes to just spend on your true choices. And I really do think that, I would love you to take time outside of this session, especially if you're not going to make it to one of my VIP virtual annual retreats, is to actually go into each one of these choices and really delve in, swim around in there and notice the murk. It's kind of like it's not problem solving because there actually was no problem. You're actually creating a smooth, effortless path to this choice by doing this. And we haven't even done the re-spark yet. So we will run over today. But you'll have the recording if you can't stay. I'll give you a few more minutes to spend on your true choices. You might notice that you do things differently. Rather than reacting, you're responding differently. Maybe your day is different. Maybe you only work in the morning and then you play in the afternoon. I know a lot of very highly conscious people that's how they work. They do a few hours work in the morning and then they're off and away for the rest of the day. And it gives them that, heaven on earth connection. How are you creating your business? Have you got a belief that, you need to work hard? And what even does hard work look like to you? Maybe that needs exploring. That you need to work many, many hours a day for little money. No. If you believe there's a lack of money, oh my God, there's a red bird outside my window with a yellow beak. The most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Very small. It's not a cardinal, no. I've never seen one before in my entire life. It's just, and then behind it, there's this yellow, amazing other one. This is just stunning. And I just want to, sorry, I'm off here. That's one of the things I regret about Hawaii, that all the beautiful birds are not there anymore. This is just so beautiful, and I don't even want to take a photo of it. I just want to bask in this magic. Because what I was sharing is really, really, really important. It's like, one of my clients was just offered, she was basically given a blank check. Excuse me. And, they wanted her to come and speak, and they literally offered her a blank check. They said, we want you, obviously all expenses paid, and, we just want to make it happen. You see? And this person used to have a real lack. The beautiful bird is gone now. Oh my God, that was amazing. Yeah, this person used to have real fears around money, and oh my God, like she would reach her financial goal and then she'd blow it. And that happened over and over again until we got her absolutely out of the structure, which it took a while, which was totally unconscious to her, obviously. And now, and money doesn't even matter. Like, she never hardly checks her bank account because it's like, well, it's just overflowing. See what I mean about this energy of, 10 grand a month? Like, how limiting is that? Overflowing, baby. Overflowing. All right, how are you doing? How was that, everyone? That was even if I do say so myself, that was quite amazing, wasn't it? It was quite amazing. Yeah, we will do that. We will do that on the virtual retreat. So if you're coming, I don't know if Angel has emailed you all about that. I know she was hoping to yesterday, but it's been a bit mental, but she promised that we'll go out before Thursday. But that is definitely one of the modules where we'll go through each of the true choices. We'll dive in. We'll see what crap you might create, and we'll respark that. And then we'll get clarity on the smoothest path, the steps to take, and we'll respark that. And then also you'll map that out into the first 6 months of the year. Because this is the power of this process, that actually a lot of these, you have to, there is divine timing and everything, but very often when you do this process, what you thought you'd want to, or what you thought you would manifest in a year, manifests in 6 months. So then what we do is we look at the second part of the year with new choices. And then because you've got a set of new choices, a new focus, which will come into being in about June, July. And then what happens is in this process, when we're working through it, is it will just get you to really connect with that version of you. And you're becoming that version now. Because in every cell of your body, you believe that you will create these visions, these dreams. And when you do, you don't mind taking those actions, whether it be surrender or go to the gym or work non-stop in flow for a few hours every morning, whatever it is. Like, it's just a whole different energy. Do you get that? Let me know if you've got any questions about that. So it's like It's so powerful. It's kind of like fast forwarding you. I mean, I was gonna say it's like fast forwarding you a few years, but if you don't have this work, then very often you just don't create these end results. And I see this all the time. I see this with people that say, Jerry, it's too expensive, or I haven't got the time, or whatever. And really what they're saying is they don't trust themselves. They don't trust themselves to create what they love. It's not about the time or the money. People find the money, or they make the time. It's actually a lack of belief in themselves. So with all of these processes and with this work, and when you really feel it in your body, it's like, oh my God, look at those things that I've created. You're not just identifying with that version of you, you are that version of you. It's like, the invisible instructions that are in the seed of the tree. That seed has all of the instructions to be not just the grown majestic tree, but the forest, the orchard. And that's you as well. So we're just tapping you into this magic. We're tapping you in a really powerful way. No, you can do this a few times a year if you want, but with the full moon today, and also the fact that it's December, it's the energy of the season, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I do have a couple of slots for the virtual retreat in December. Because I know a lot of people are kind of off and stuff in January. All right, my beauties, let's move on. So let's look at the last year. It says week in review. Let's look at the last year. What went right? What went right? So you might want to work through each month or a different area of your life, like friends, fitness, fulfillment, family, friends. What went right? And also maybe what did you learn? How are you doing? What do you work? What's working for you to go through each month, or a different area of your life, or maybe the choices, your different choices? What's working? What have you chosen? Let me know. Different areas. Months. Okay. Oh, emotions. That's interesting. Is that working for you? Yeah. Okay, cool. Working through different months or choices feels a little more grounded than to me, because remember that, our thoughts and feelings are totally made up. They mean nothing. Thanks, Debs. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's right for it today. Very, very ripe. I know. I mean, I don't know really what's happening in media, what they're making up. Oh, fucking excuse my French, made up. But I know many people are finding it. Many people are flying and manifesting and having an amazing time, and then other people are in that stage of the spiral where it's challenging. Their doubts are coming up, and then other people are just in December party party time. It's cool, isn't it? How many choices we have. So what went right? No, okay. If you haven't had an email, she has promised me that it will go out before tomorrow. And it is a first come, first serve, because obviously um it's quite time heavy for me, and I don't have many slots because there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. Yeah. If you know you want it, just send her an email even before she sends the email out to say, yeah, I'm in. She's going to have a 10-minute chat with you just to check that, we can work out the dates and payment and all of that. Yeah, and she'll give you some ideas of what people have done in the past in terms of staying in gorgeous hotels. And, we can even have lunch together virtually on Zoom during the retreat. You're not allowed to drink alcohol until the third day, though, because I like you to hang with the tension for those 3 days. That's how my retreats work. No alcohol until day 3. And then we celebrate. We have kind of a virtual online party on day 3. It's a hell of a lot of fun. We go deep and we go high, baby. And you also get cacao. If I can get it shipped to you before your retreat happens, and you get a gift of cacao as well. All right, so you've looked at what went right. So now, what were the actions that made the biggest difference? What were the actions that made the biggest difference? Oh, cool. I'm glad you found this work too. Yeah, lenses. Look at this exercise. I love it. So, what were the actions that made the biggest difference? Yeah, maybe it was not doing something. Nice. Love it. Oh, that's interesting. You stopped being a vegan. Beautiful. Yeah, one of my mentors runs safaris, and yeah, he's got a really funny way of dealing with vegans when they come on his like almost meat only events. No one comes back a vegan, let's just say that. You know, I'm an intuitive eater, sometimes a very unintuitive, naughty eater with crisps and peanuts. Yeah, mostly intuitive. So, what were the actions that made the biggest difference? Oh, I love that. Stepping into the shoes of the you in 2023. I love that so much. That's beautiful. So I'll give you another few minutes for that. Yeah. Love it. Well done. Yeah. I mean, when you think how much you've changed in maybe a few months or a year, when you think about the Fibonacci sequence, you know, which is it's everywhere in nature. You can Google it. I'll put it into the chat box on both areas. Fibonacci. Um, the Fibonacci sequence is present in nature. It's also present in our lives, and it's the building of well, it's not quite momentum, but you see it in numbers, in nature, in how things grow and how things improve, expand. And in terms of numbers, in numbers it's so 0 and 1, and what you do is you add on the previous number. So zero starts with 0, then we've got 1, so then that adds up to 1, and then the next number 1, and you add that to 1 and it's 2. Then obviously the next number is 2, and you add 2 to 1. I'm going to put this in the chat box as well, the numbers, because it might be easier than me. It's easier if you have something to look at when I'm talking about it. So if you look, 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. But you see how big the leaps are getting now. 21 plus 13 is 34. 34 plus 21 is 55. And look, 55 and 34 is 89. So if you research that and you see all the patterns and the Fibonacci sequence, you see it in a sunflower, in a shell, in the stars, in what are those beautiful plants called? I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, it's everywhere in nature. And obviously, we're a part of nature. And this is what you see, because your growth might be really slow to start with, but then it's more and more and more and more. And I see this with my people, when they're getting clients, they get one client, and then they get two, and then it's three, and then it's 5, and then it's 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. This is what happens when you're in alignment and you're using this work. You're connected with your heart and you're creating what you love. It's very, very powerful. So that's why it's so powerful to just look, where am I in 6 months' time? Where am I in a year's time? So bring that to a close, please. What were the actions that made the biggest difference? And then finally, where do I need to refocus? And what action will I take to ensure I stay focused on my end results? Where do I need to refocus? And what action will I take to ensure I keep focusing on my end results? So you might want to break this into choices or different areas of your life: business, home, love life, friends, family, health, fitness, hobbies, juiciness. I don't know what area of like that. I think that could run through all areas of our life. Is it juicy? Is it juicy? Can't believe I saw that amazing bird. It was like a dolphin experience, but I didn't want to rush and get the camera. Just like, wow. Innocence. It was innocence. Oh, where do I need to refocus? And what action will I take to ensure I keep focusing on my end results? The part of the retreat where we break down each month is like, can you imagine how powerful that is? So powerful. You are welcome. Sorry you have to go. Obviously, the replay, email Angel. She'll get it to you. And please join us on Friday. We've got a different gathering where we're going back to basics. It's okay. Just a few people had to leave. I'm carrying on. No panic. So stay. You just got another minute or two on where do I need to refocus and what action will I take to ensure I keep focusing on my end results. Okay, give me a 3 if you have finished that. Yeah. Where do I need to refocus? What action will I take to ensure keep focusing on my end results? Everyone finished? Okay. Well done. Moving on. All right. So now, this week of the magical full moon, the last full moon of 2022, what could I do this week to move towards my end results? So you've had a real glimpse of 2023 and some of those dreams and end results that might scare the bejesus out of you. So take a moment and write down all the things that you think you could do this week to move towards creating those end results. Jot it all down. Lush. I love that predominant creative force in my life. Feels damn good. Doesn't it? Yeah, and yeah, you're getting the overflowing money now. It took me a while. Gotta be honest. It took me a while. Especially because all of the coaches out there, especially all the left brain ones, even a lot of the intuitive coaches are like, how much do you want to earn a month? I used to do that for quite a while. Yeah. It's a whole different energy. And it's the energy of abundance. You know, money loves fun, it loves lightness. It loves to flow. It loves to be loved. You know? So yeah, well done. Yeah. And yeah, using that kind of a learning with your health as well, overflowing with energy. There's no limit on my energy. There's no limit actually also on time. I've got all the time in the world. You know, people come to me and they go, I haven't got time. What time do you get up in the morning? How much TV, how much Netflix do you watch a week? Don't talk to me about not having time. How much exercise are you doing? Because that gives you energy. You know, time is made up. It's never a time question. It's an energy question. And I'm not beating anyone up. You know, I have my wobbly times. You know, where maybe I'm not exercising as much. And, you know, I just always notice so much when I do the things I love, like, I just feel incredible for days after. So you feel incredible doing it. And then for ages afterwards. That was a huge learning for me about the resistance I used to have for exercise or running. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. I love doing it and I feel amazing afterwards. It's just what the mind does to stop you. It's the resist dance. All right. Have you had enough time on what could I do this week? Let's get clear on what you are committing to. What will I do? What will I do this week to move towards my end results? What will I do? What are you committing to doing? And you might want to make this bulleted, you know? Boom, 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 boom. These are the things I'm going to do. And you're writing them down, you're committing to them. So these are the things you must follow through on. Yeah. So give me a 4 when you've done that. This one shouldn't take you too long because you know, probably haven't got a million things that you're committing to doing in the next week. All right, my love. So I'll give you another minute or so for that one. So please bring that to a close. Who's ready for a bit of resparkle? Let's let go of that resistance. So first step, what would you love to create? So you can either choose one of the orientational choices or a true choice. What would you love to create? I choose the end result of. I choose to now step into that end result. How does that feel? What are you noticing? What's life like? Who's with you? What are you doing? You know, this is all part of teaching your body. Teaching your body. This is the end result. Choose the end result of. And it feels like, how does it feel? Now, the next step, bring it back to now. So, what's happening in your current reality now? Where are you in relation to that goal? in relation to that goal, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are the thoughts, the worries? What are the fears, the feelings, the emotions? You know, what would someone have to believe to create this current reality? Because there's a discrepancy between what you love to create, that end result, and where you are now. So what's happening with this version of you now? What are the judgments? What are the judgments that you have about yourself or about this dream? Or maybe even about people who have created that end result. So now just taking a moment and noticing, because that's all resistance, all that density, the thoughts, the feelings, the worries. You know, maybe there's depression in there or anxiety, the things that are stopping you from lightly moving forward and taking those actions. So put all of those, almost like, imagine we put them in a sack, a bag, and give it a number. All of that density, all of that resistance from 0 to 10. 0 is nothing. 10 is the most resistance you could imagine. And let me know how much resistance is there from 0 to 10. With 0 is no resistance, no problemo. 10 is like, can't even move. So much resistance. Type it into the chat. Whoa, I think we went deep today, didn't we? We've got some high numbers today. I love that. I love it. I really do. Because it's not where we end up, is it, at the end of the session? 9, 10, 7, 8, 5, 8, 3. That's low. All right, beauty. So give me permission to connect with your superconscious. Close your eyes and just allow. Superconscious, are you there? Hey. So these visions, these dreams, in relation to those, do you see that resistance that's there? Can you please tag and treat, do a massive change history and everything as needed? So it's still got all of these thoughts, these feelings. And we've got family patterns, ancestral fears. We've got power personalities, and we've also got the external world imprinting its fears and its patterns on our internal world rather than the other way around, rather than us being the creators of our external world. We've got, I don't know whether it's the media, the news, fears, maybe, I don't know, economy, people believing, don't feed the fears, people believing that what they're being told is happening in the world is actually happening. I'm really getting that. And then what happens is, if enough people believe that, that's what we create. So Superconscious, can you please tag and treat for us and all the people that are going to watch the replay? Please tag and treat and do a massive change history, and everything is needed on these areas of resistance. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Nice deep breaths, everyone. Just notice what you notice. So, Superconscious, we've got timelines here. And we've got a belief that we needed the shit to happen. We needed the problems, we needed the challenges to create those end results. But actually, no, it can be effortless and flowing and fun. So, any resistance on any of the timelines between where we are now and our end result, we're keeping the tension, this powerful force of momentum and creating. Let's let go of that resistance, transforming blocks into stepping stones towards creating what we love. And we have past events, present and future. Please tag and treat and do a massive change history and everything that's needed. Thank you. Well done, everyone. Okay, quick check-in. What was your first number? Where are you now? Gently open your eyes. What was your first number and where are you now? 10, 5, 8, 3, 5, 0 already. Well done. Is that 8, 5? Good. Okay, let's go back in. Please give me permission again. You better. Thank you, Superconscious. Yeah. We have secondary intentions, especially around what we want to create from 6 to 12 months. It's like there's secondary intentions. If I create that, then people will think I'm intelligent, or people will think I'm cool, or people will love me. So if there's any secondary intentions around any of our dreams, around any of the things we want to create, then either we're not going to be able to create them or we won't be able to sustain them. We're just creating. We're creating from the heart. We're just creating because we love it, Why do you want more money? Because I love money. Why do you want a successful business? Because I love my clients. I love my business. Why do you want to have a relationship with a great dude? Because I love it. Not because it'll make me feel lovable or it'll make me feel worthy. Just because I fucking love it. I was peppering in with a few curses today. I blame the spirit of cacao. So, dudes and dudesses, deep breaths, super conscious, please tag and treat, and do a massive change history and everything that's needed and any remaining resistance, and especially of that resistance and anything connected with that metaphor. Any secondary intentions. We also have alignment desires. I am, I will, I deserve. And the belief of belonging. So please tag and treat and do a massive change history and everything that's needed. Yay! Well done, everyone. Nice deep breaths. Thank you, super conscious. Please ground all the memories we touched today back into the matrix of the universe, including memories 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Love it. All right, bees, open your eyes gently, slowly. Come back to me. How are you now? Let me know your very first number and what your number is now. How are you doing? And how was that for you? How was today? I feel like a whole new person. I loved today's session. I love that bird. Good, good, good. Yay! 10-0, 8-1, 8-0, 5-1. Did you go back up again? 3-0, 7-1. Well done. I love you all so much. Thank you for staying and thank you for watching, those of you on the replay. And enjoy the full moon. I saw a rainbow around the moon last night. It was very, very, very cool. So happy charging your crystals or whatever you want to do, and have an amazing week. And we're back to the normal schedule. And we'll also be sending out the Christmas schedule because obviously I'll be taking some time off. So I love you all so much. Keep visioning, keep creating. Love you so much. See you next time. Bye, beauties.